it's really important to understand that Islamophobia as a concept does not exist. Why? Because the word phobia is an irrational fear with little to no real danger. But as we have seen, there have been a number of Islamist terrorist attacks. We have the 7/7 attacks. We had Sir David Amess, who was murdered by Ali Harbi Ali. We've had Axel Ruda Cabana. We've had the Manchester airport attacks, and the list just goes on and on and on. So there is actually a real fear of Islam. And so for Angela Rayner and for the government to gaslight us and say, oh no, Islamophobia needs a definition in UK law, that is gaslighting the public. And recently, last year, there was a poll that showed Islamophobia had increased by 73%, and that's what triggered this new Islamophobia definition. But what the government failed to do was to explain to us why. And that why is, OK, yes, Islamophobia has increased because of all the threats I just mentioned. And quite frankly, I think that, the UK, we are not a Muslim country. There are approximately 50 Muslim countries. And those that want to uphold their faith, they should simply remigrate back to those countries. It does not belong here, and we should certainly not be changing the law.
OK, thank you very much, Lucy. Will, you're a man of free speech.
I am.
Yeah? Are you free speech to the max?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. It was very funny watching this table because Jonathan looked in physical pain as that monologue was going on. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. And of course, Lucy's entirely right. To steal the immortal words of Andrew Cummins, I've got them here. Islamophobia is a word created by fascists and used by cowards to manipulate morons. And that is exactly how we need to look at this. Religion is a choice. Being Islamic is a choice. Your ethnicity is something you can't choose, and that is something we should be much more severe on when it comes to speech issues. But when it comes to a choice of a religion, it should be open to scrutiny like any other religion or indeed like any other ideology.
OK, before I come to Jonathan, because I know Jonathan's got some very strong words for Lucy here. Bruce, what do you make of Islamophobia, the definitions of it, the fact the government wants to create Islamophobia?
Well, it's bringing back blasphemy laws, isn't it? It's criticising people for having an opinion on a religion, but we don't see it on the opposite side, do we? Do we see an attack on or any kind of definition against Christianity or Catholicism or anything like that? No. So, yeah, I find it a bit absurd, to be perfectly honest. People should be entitled, like Will said, to free speech, to their opinions. If you don't agree with a religion, why can't you say that?
OK. Jonathan, you're gearing up for... I can feel there's a moment happening.
Do you think it's possible to be racist against a Muslim person?
No is the answer, because...
I was asking Lucy, because she did the debate.
Well, I think this is a religion.
Do you think it's possible to be racist against it? Is it possible for me to say the most disgusting things about the group of people in this country who are Muslims, and I could daub it on a wall or outside a mosque, but it's not possible for me to be racist?
What race? What race?
Just answer the question. Is it possible for me to be... Is that racist?
Lucy?
I don't think it's an issue of racism.
So is it... OK, so it's... As a Jewish person, I find what you are saying to be one of the most offensive things I've ever heard on this channel. And I've had a lot of things. I've had a lot of things on this channel. It is so profoundly offensive to me that you think it's not possible to be racist against a group of people who have objectively and demonstrably been marginalised and oppressed for many, many years in this country. The fact that it's a religion is completely irrelevant.
Oh, rubbish.
If you are saying, look, a conversation about anti-Semitism, does anti-Semitism exist, would never in a million years air on this channel.
OK.
But we have such a double standard about Islamophobia, which is in itself Islamophobic.
Lucy, what do you think?
Well, I would say the fact that we had a sitting MP, Tahir Ali, call for the reintroduction for blasphemy laws in the UK is quite astonishing. And if you look across the globe, there are only 7 countries on the planet where blasphemy is punishable by capital death. And if you look at those 7 countries, they're all Islamic countries. So Islam is the only religion in the world where blasphemy can lead to death. And if you look at Pakistan, this is the only country where mobs get together and they will actually lynch someone to death in public for speaking about the Prophet Muhammad or the Quran. And what scares me is that we saw with the Batley school teacher, just because he showed a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad in a religious studies class, he was essentially cancelled and had death threats. And I've done a lot of research into this school, and 30% of those school students were Pakistani, which means that their parents from Pakistan are used to this mob-style...
But what's that?
We don't need that.
I don't want let's turn it to a head-to-head because we've got loads of time. I want to bring in Will.
I want to pick up on the dime store sophistry from Jonathan. The fact that he is actually comparing this to anti-Semitism is wrong. We all know that Judaism is both an ethnicity as well as a religion, and we talk about anti-Semitism, we talk about
why can't it be the other?
specifically.
So I'm not saying I disagree, but just for the audience's sake, why can't it be the other way around?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Why can't Islamophobia be the same as anti-Semitism? What's the reason behind that?
Because when we refer to anti-Semitism, we are referring to the Jewish ethnic group. We're not referring to Judaism as a religion.
Yeah.
And there is that's never really been in question. And the fact, Jonathan, that you just imply that this is somehow racist and you can't actually say what race is being discriminated against goes to show how utterly ridiculous the position is.
Well, it's just not true.
There are white Muslims, there are Muslims all over the world.
Race is a series of unbridgeable differences between people.
Sure.
And racism, and look, race is constructed anyway. Racism is not racism.
Sorry?
Race is construction. This is social construction. Racism fully exists.
Okay.
I mean, I could be racist against you if I want to be.
Okay, Bruce.
Yeah, well, he's right. Racism does exist, but when you start putting religion into that, where do you draw the line? How do you then... You're defining something...
It's not about the religion, it's about the people. It's about the people who belong to that religion. It's not about me being... It's not about me criticising tenets of Islam. It's about me Muslim people.
Run over, everybody. We've run over. It's we could have this debate again, I think. This is a very, very hot debate, and I'm sure is going to heat up more, so stay tuned on that.